Everybody, how are you? It's Thursday night. Hello, everyone. So it's cold. It's -8. Can you believe that? It's still -8. It was -12, so that's an improvement. But it's Friday, it's Thursday night, and it's financial night. So here we are. So Thursday night, it's financials. It's Thursday night financials. And that is so important, especially when so many people are out of work, we're not doing what we're, spending money, shopping online. Some of us are hoarding it because we think we're not going to have enough for so many different reasons. So I decided to have a little conversation tonight about how to think about money. So welcome to Thursday Night Financials. So let's get the conversation started. And I hope you're enjoying this. So glasses comes up. Hey Yoko, how are you? It's Friday night financials. Thursday night financials. So let's get the conversation started. So because of this time, my big thing is financials and is always helping somebody else to get somewhere. So tonight is possession versus experiences. That is I have 5 topics. I was listening to Evan, he said 10, 15 minutes, not too much longer than that. So I'm trying to see if I can stay within this. So one of the things about money, there's 5 points I'm going to talk about. And the first one is possession, buying possessions or having family experiences. I am big on family experiences because that is so important. So if you're looking at what you want to do for your family, you can buy a brand new car, or you can take that money and take your family on a trip somewhere when the world opens up and let them have the experience. Let them be able, to take 1,000,000 different photographs, get involved in the culture of the country, and make amazing memories. That is what you do. So the possession is to buy something like a car, or buy something else for them, or buy something else for, that you want, rather than let them have the experience. I had a friend who said she much rather spend her money on her house than go on a holiday. And of course, me and my vacation, so I didn't get that. Hello, Jizo, how are you? So it's possessions or experiences. So you can buy something with your money and you have a family you'd like to take to Paris. And take 1,000 million pictures in Paris, go to Europe, go somewhere else in the world and take pictures upon pictures and get involved in the culture, try the foods, try to speak the language, and just let them have the experience, let the children explore, give them opportunities to. Even you and your husband, or if your children are older and the two of you, that's the time to go. Make it worthwhile for them. So another one because it's only 5 and I'll do 5 next week. So it's possession, the first one, versus experiences. I go for the experiences. Go to Disney and take in all the different sites, eat all the things, try the rides, just get involved in it. Go to Vegas if you're a husband and try all the different foods. You don't have to gamble, but you can try the foods. I went to Earth Cafe when I was there. Oh, the coffee was to die for. It was so delicious. So another one is to treat your friends and family. Use your money to treat them. You don't have to do a big thing. You can send a card to a friend with a nice smiley note on it. You can also invite them to dinner. You can create something for them. You can spend. So you're spending your money to do something nice. All you're doing, treat your friends and your family. Have a big dinner and let everybody come and enjoy what they're doing. So it's what you think about money, how you think about money. A lot of people think that they never have enough, and they might give up an experience to hoard the money for later. Hi Rosie. So instead of doing all of that, keeping the money for later, have an experience. You don't have to blow all the money, but look at where we are now. We cannot have family over for Christmas. For Christmas, we couldn't have them over for spring. We're certainly not having them for a night in the winter night. We're not going to have them over. We don't know what summer is going to be like. So that is your lesson for next year. How do you think about money? Possession versus experiences. Treat your family to a nice dinner at home. You don't have to. When it gets better, do it at home. Enjoy the night. Have a a fire in the backyard and everybody toast marshmallows. Buy something different. If you drink, have a nice thing. See the joy you can see in their face. And have a big family get together after COVID. Now send a gift card to somebody that you know that maybe there's a book you said you should try that book. Then send them a $20 gift card just for the fun of it and say, you know what, you know that book I was talking to you about, this is your gift card to buy that book. Tell them where they can get it and do those type of things. Now, another thing, they say spend your days doing what you love. So, like all the movement makers, everybody's doing what they love. Everybody's doing their thing, the videos, everybody's trying, everybody's pushing to get something going. So spend your time doing what you love. Save all you can from as early as possible. So what you're doing from the early age, you start saving. You know how I believe in saving. The end goal is to quickly buy yourself financial freedom. That is it. Remember when I did Kathleen last week, she talked about financial freedom, and I said it tastes like the fruit you enjoy the most. Because when you have financial freedom, it is so awesome. You can choose to do what you want when you want. So you start saving early and enjoy doing that. So you can do things that maybe are not as lucrative as they might be at the beginning. So saving though is not easy, but it must be done. So save consistently. You can do that. You can save for a few years, you can have a big saving if you do it consistently. You can spend more time doing things you love. Once you have your saving in place, then later on you can spend more time doing the things you love. And that can bring you the purpose of your life. So if you start saving now, as early as you can, and save as much as you can automatically, as I said, watch that the government doesn't trust you to pay your income tax. So they tell your employer to pay them the income tax because I don't trust so-and-so. None of us are going to pay it if we have to. So the government gets in there first and they take it automatically. So ask your bank to do the same. Say, you know what, I don't trust myself to pay myself first. So can you take the money from me every payday, take $50. But over years, that $50 can really, really, really grow. So that is what you're doing this money for. You plan for a longer life because you don't know how long you're going to live. Years ago, people lived 20 years past 50. Now people are in their 90s. Everybody that you hear that's dying in the past recent weeks, they're all in the 90s and 80s. So save your money so you have a good life after all. And by the time so many of you guys get older, you'll be living to 120 and healthy. So you need to have money for that. You should worry less about dying early in retirement because people are living longer than ever before. So that means you need to save more than your family. You need to save than the people that came before you, than they ever did, as you could easily be retired for more than 50 years. People retire at 50 now. So you're going to be retired for 40, 45 years. How are you going to have that life? How are you going to travel? Your pension, your government pension, your social security, that is just to live on. To do those things that matter, you need to have your own money. You have to have saved your own money. The government of Canada gave you a tax-free savings account. If a person that is 30 saves that $5,500 a year, by the time they're 65, they have over $400,000 or more, depends on how it's invested. So it's up to you. And $5,500 a month is like $200 and something every month. $5,500 a year is $200 and something a month. And at the end of your retirement, you have this big, nice bucket of money to help your children buy a home, to give them part of the down payment, to help a grandchild go to university. And that gives you joy. So you have to think see what you think about money, So longevity is a big thing these days, and it allows you to see and do more in your lifetime. You might do more for your children and their children than your parents did for you and your children. And that is what is important. It also means you have an obligation to save more aggressively, knowing that chances are you might live for another 60 years. Then you should put money aside. because there is medication that's going to make you look younger, that's going to make you feel younger. You might want a facelift, you know. You might you might want to do something to make you feel younger. You might, instead of walking around with a bad hip, you can get a hip replacement lickety split. You have the money, you can go get it done. And these are the things that you can do. The trick about saving money, the first thing is to pay attention. Pay attention to your money. Tonight, on the news, they were talking about people getting that have never used some companies that taking the money from their account and they didn't know about it. So that tells you, don't just forget your account, check it. Get to know where your money is going, pay attention, and then find the money. You want to say find the money. When I say find the money, look at what you already have. I keep pounding it and pounding it in your head. Because it's on sale does not mean you have to buy it. How many bags of rice you need? How many packets of toilet paper you really, really need? But it's on sale, they tell me. Tessa-Marie, it's on sale. And they're breathless. Have you ever seen something like that? You are in the supermarket. You have a cart with toilet paper or rice or flour, whatever is on sale. People that never ever said boo to you before, the minute they look in your cart and they see you have something, is it on sale? Where can I find? Do you know what lane it is in? A while ago, that same person almost ran you over with their car in the parking lot. But all of a sudden, because something is on sale and it's in your cart, they're your best friend. So these are the things you have to look for. And when you find out where that money is, make sure you take that money and you tell the bank to do it for you automatically. Automatic savings. Don't trust yourself to save your own money. Hello, everybody. I took off the glasses, can't read the small print. So don't laugh. You cannot trust anybody to save money for you except automatic. The computer has no emotion. The computer doesn't understand anything. All it knows is that you told me to take $50 every 2 weeks on a Thursday night. I'm going to take it every 2 weeks on a Thursday night. But if you said that to yourself, you might never sit in front of that computer at home on the table and remember Thursday night at 9 p.m. you need to transfer $70 from your checking account to your savings account. But that computer will, and the bank will make sure it will, because the bank wants your money, so it gives your brother a mortgage. It wants your money, so it gives your cousin money to buy a car. So that's what you have to remember. Don't trust yourself to pay yourself. Make sure you get the bank to work for you. They do it for free. There is no charge. That's the only time they don't charge you, is to take your money to save it for you. So make them work. Give them a job. You know, they're using your money. They give you 2 cents and they take 20. From the same money you give them to invest, they get more than you. So at least let them work for the 2 cents. Pay attention to where it goes. Walk in there or get on the phone or get on the computer and set it up once. The minute you do it once, that computer it doesn't know when to stop. You know that. You tell it to run, it's going to run until it gets what it's like Forrest Gump, run, Forrest, run. But that's what the computer does. Every Thursday night, 9 o'clock at night, it's taking the money from your account and then it will go over. So it's like the children. You pay attention, you find the money, you make it automatic, and it repeats, it repeats, it repeats. It never stops. So, number 5, invest for the long term. This is really, really important. You guys heard today, well, I have to listen to this talk. I have to follow it. That's my job. That's part of one of my passions. Today, you heard about Game and BlackBerry and all these other companies and Reddit. They went through Reddit and they just gave the hedge fund members a run for their money. And GameStop. It went from $15 in 2 days to $500. Because all these other companies, the small companies, got together and they flooded the market, trading online. And all the big hedge funds suffered and they got so mad that they decided to block them. So the stocks dropped again to half of what it went up to. Now the trading commission is checking all of that out because they shouldn't have stopped these guys. But that is what people are doing. So invest for the long term. There is you can get like what happened there, but you have to be in to get it. Your investment time horizon is not measured in weeks and months. It's measured in years and decades. So when you are investing, and you're investing in mutual funds, or you're investing in the stock market through a broker, or if you are one of the fortunate people that can stay home in your pajamas and trade, be a day trader and get involved in something like that, you can make some money, but you can also lose money. So what you have to remember is that there is no quick rich scheme. Investment in the stock market in mutual fund is measured in years and decades and years. That's how it's measured. If you look at the stock market and you see that the thing is like this, a little line going up and down, that is called, it's volatile, it's risky. So it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. So for you to get advantage of it, or anybody, you have to be constantly investing. That's where the computer becomes your best friend, because every week is going to take that money. Sometimes the stock is high, so you get less for your money, but when it's low, you get more for your money. So over time, you make money, over years and decades. So now is the time to invest if you want to do that, if you want to invest like that. If you're going to make your millions somewhere else, you still have to know how to manage those millions you're going to make as an entrepreneur. You still have to know, because you cannot have somebody. Oprah said, don't let anybody write your checks for you. There are hundreds and hundreds of basketball players, of NFL players, of actors, like Leslie Snipes and I forgot the name. They had people writing their checks for them. And they were writing the checks for themselves. They didn't get any of their money. They were behind in their taxes, and they went so far and they fell again. So that's why you need to pay attention with your money. There is a saying, if you look after the pennies, the dimes will take care of themselves. Once you get in the habit of knocking and looking at your money, know where your money is going. No one can do it for you. You don't have to know everything, but at least you have to know what you have and what is happening to it. It's a big job to do that. So you have to just know the nitty-gritty. And when you invest in the stock market, if you're going to hold your stomach at night when you hear the market drop, then that is not for you. You have to have guts to invest in the stock market, especially when you're young, and especially when you're trusting somebody in the brokerage office or at your financial institution. The more risky the investment, the more opportunities you have to win. But you have to understand risk is time. It will take decades. But over the long run, with all of it being so volatile or risky, if you don't understand it, when things are easy, it's like the lake, it's smooth, or like the ocean, nothing is moving. Nothing happens. You are not making any money either. It's down there. But when it starts, it's rowdy and the waves are coming in and the waves are going out, it's high waves, low waves. That's very volatile. And that is risky. They call it a bull market. The market is like a bull. It's running, it's raging. When it is steady, they call it a bear. A big black bear. It's not running, it's just plodding along, right? So that's when you hear those words, pay attention. Question it. If you want to make money, get to know a little bit about it. The more you know, the better you will be. So look beyond the market's short-term fluctuation. That's what I was talking about. Down and up, and down and down and down and up, and stuff like that. That's how it goes. And that, at the time of the fluctuation, you will notice that your portfolio, that's what they call what you have invested in the market or the mutual funds, it will drop. Like I remembered in 2008, my portfolio dropped by 40%. But by the end of 2009, it was up by 70%. So, but I am accustomed to working the market, so I didn't care. I know it has to come back up. I can come back up today, but it came back in about 7-8 months. It was back and above that. So, but I have been investing since I was in my 20s. So you invest, you get money out, your stock doubles, you make a lot of money, but you have to give it time. And it cannot be money you have to pay the mortgage with. You invest with money you don't need to eat tomorrow. You invest with the money you don't need to pay a bill. You invest in the money you don't need for gas. So it's the extra money you invest long term in the stock market. And everybody's asking me about that. So that's why I brought it up as number 5 tonight. Invest in it. Be careful, go to your bank, get advice, ask questions. You don't understand what they're saying, say, listen, I did not go to school for this. You did. Speak to me like in English. I need to understand what you are talking about. And once you have a notebook and a pen, everybody's on attention. Everybody has to be careful what they say to you. They're not going to attempt to pull the wool over your eye. You say to them, do you mind if I take some notes? And the minute you say that, everybody's at attention because they know you are going to repeat what they say. And if you don't know, so you're telling me, if I do this, this will happen. Nothing is a sure thing. Don't let them tell you it's a sure thing. So you have to be diversified. Diversified is a mutual fund, is a good way to start because it's like you have a basket. And in the basket you have eggs, you have apples, you have grapes, you have maybe some meat, you went to the market, you have different type of products in there. So a mutual fund is a basket of different types of investment. You might have hydro, you might have the gas company, you might have the health stocks, you might have government bonds. So that is what a mutual fund is. And that's, as a small investor, that's where you start. It's $25 a month, but it's $25 you don't remember. I like to invest $12.50 every 2 weeks if all I have is $25. So you break it down to what you can afford, but you start. You have to put your foot on there. You must start. Because it will give you the extra, the boost. It will send you on the trips of a lifetime. And allowed, and another thing that you have to allow is to leave it there. Don't panic. If you stay invested for many years, you will end up with money. But it's many years, 10 years, 16 years, 20 years. And there is a cost. There's always going to be a cost. Everything has a cost. They're going to tell you when it's going to cost you so much. And you have to look beyond the market. Sometimes when the stocks are low and they said the stocks are low, do you have $1,000 to invest? It's like a sale at the supermarket. That's why you want to buy the rice again. You have rice, but now the rice is on sale, you're running. So they called me and said, do you have $1,000? Do you have $500? There's a stock that you can invest in. It has to be a reputable broker. Somebody that is where there is a building, they call it bricks and mortar. The person that shows up at your church and he works for an investment company and he's there and you don't see him today, you see him tomorrow. Go to a building. Go to a bank with a name. Don't trust your cousin's brother, uncle's grandfather, nephew. You don't know those people. And by the time your friend comes to you and tell you, man, I bought this stock for $20, like today, they bought this stock on Monday at 19. By Tuesday, it was 500. Today, it's down to 200. So the person who made the money was the one who bought it at 19. So by the time your friend or your brother, your cousin, whoever says to you, this is an opportunity you have to take, he bought it at 10. It is now flying at 25. So you're not going to get the same return as they. Because he bought it when it was in the trough. You know the trough where they feed the animals, right? So he's down there in the trough, sitting there, and everybody who comes behind him is bringing him up. So his price is going up, his value is going up, his equity is going up. You are still at the bottom coming up. So that's how it works. So get rich quick is not that. Go to a reputable broker. Go to a bank, a place where they have a name and a big back so that you can scream when they don't do what you want. And that's where you go. So your cousin, uncle, grandmother's son on his father's side is not your best bet. Go to the person that you can scream at. So it's how you think about money. So look at it and make sure you take advantage of what is before you. That's why I bring Thursday night, because everybody's asking questions, because I worked at the bank and I love to answer your question. But some of it, I have to be honest with you. It's not quick rich. 10, 20, 30 years. You are 35, you're 40. You invest $50 every 2 weeks for the next 25 years and you don't look at it. You don't need it to buy a house. You don't need it to pay the mortgage. You don't need it to eat. You need it for a good time in your good years. And that's what you do it for. You need it so when you cash it out, you get money. And let me give you a tip on investing in mutual funds or the stock market. Everybody knows about term deposit, and you put your money for 30 days and you get 5 cents, I think. Anyway, whatever, you know what I mean. So that is fine. But how the rich get richer is how they invest. So if you invest in mutual fund or stocks, right? And your value went up by, let's say for easiness, $2,000. And I invest in the bank paper, a term deposit, a guarantee investment certificate, and I made $2,000 over the time. That $2,000 profit I make gets added as to my income, and it becomes taxable as income tax, as high as income tax. So if my income is $50,000 and I made $2,000 in profit this year, my income is right now $52,000. But the person who invested in the market or in the mutual fund and had the money invested forever and never cashed it, they don't pay anything on it until they cash it. And when they cash it, they only pay on 50% of what they make. So if they also made $2,000, they only pay tax on $1,000. You see? Whereas if you invest in something in the bank, a GIC, a term deposit, which is safe, you will get $2,000, but that time when the $2,000 is paid out to you, you get a receipt to say you made interest. So when you go to the bank, what interest? Interest is not your friend. You might as well save your money to do what you want to do and do it. If you want, because interest is taxable. Capital gains is taxable only 50%. You invested $1,000, you made $1,000, you pay tax on $500. That's how it works. That's called capital gains. That's how rich people get richer. So this is why you have to learn. What I said, pay attention. Listen to when you see something that is on the news or you hear something, Google the word, Google what they're saying, listen, learn from it. Because if you want to have, even if you make money as an entrepreneur, you still have to invest it. Because dry cash has no value. You can make thousands of dollars in your bank and you're sitting in your bank account, it has no value. So to make your money work for you, all the money you make as an entrepreneur, you're going to take that money and invest it so it makes more money. So you can leave a legacy. So that is why there's 3 stages in finances. You're developing, you're accumulating, and finally you're leaving a legacy. So I hope you got the legacy tonight, and I hope you guys understood a little bit of that. So money is made to be used properly. Don't be afraid of it. Don't give it a bad name. And next week we'll have 5 more parts on that next Thursday. So if you're interested to learn a little bit more about money, I coach Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And you can ask me questions and come and I'll coach you. You can tell me what you want to do and I'll coach you. I won't tell you what to invest in. That's not my job. But I will tell you how to save so you have money for investing. So sending you light and joy on this evening. Thank you so much for coming. Hi, Yoko. Hi, Angela. Hi, Corinne. Hi, everybody. Hi, Rosie. I took the glasses off. I'm being vain. So talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.